I was at the point where I couldn't imagine not being in pain anymore. Like it had been that long and that bad. And I know some of you know what I'm talking about. Hopefully you don't, but if you do, this is for you. Hey dancers, it's Kirsten. Welcome back to the Confident Dancer YouTube channel. Today, I really wanted to make a video for those of you who are going through injury recovery right now. I have a lot of compassion for how difficult that is, as I myself have experienced lots of very physically and emotionally intense and painful injury experiences. I have a whole playlist on videos about my injury experience, some of my story with that, and then also just informational videos. I laugh because some of them are quite dramatic, and it's how some of you found me because they kind of got out. If you want to know more or access more videos that will be encouraging to you during your injury recovery process, definitely check out that playlist. But today I want to talk specifically about how to be mentally healthy during your injury recovery process. Of course, these are just pointers, and I really do advocate for getting as much support as you can professionally, whether that's with a therapist or with a coach like me. Whatever you can do to support yourself during this time, having a support system of people who are actually there for you in real time is really, really valuable if that is something that's accessible to you. But I do want to give you this video with some really helpful tips that I have learned over the years that I really want to share with you, that some might be really different and new, and I totally didn't know this back in the day. So I hope this really helps you and helps you to have a sense of hope and peace and the feeling that you have some helpful tools in your pocket to guide you through this process, because I know it's difficult. I want to just share before I get into these tips, I love sharing this encouragement that I had a friend, a close friend, when I was going through a really, really hard time with a knee injury that just kept coming back. It was very difficult. It ended in surgery and like a bunch of injections to repair my tendon, and thank God I'm back now. It's okay. But at the time I really didn't feel okay, and I didn't have, I just felt like I was at the point where I couldn't imagine not being in pain anymore. Like it had been that long and that bad. And I know some of you know what I'm talking about. Hopefully you don't, but if you do, this is for you. She said to me, Kirsten, one day there will be a day where you forget what it felt like to be in this much pain. It will be like it didn't even happen. And maybe that feels super far-fetched for you, but for those of you who are really in the thick of the emotions and like the hopelessness and the sadness of a recovery process that's really difficult, like maybe you're watching this and yours is not that intense. Great, so happy for you. That's why there are timestamps. You can just skip to the first point. But I really just do want to have this connection with you and this heart-to-heart if you are going through a very difficult injury experience that is just causing you to feel like kind of giving up on your body or yourself. There will be a day when you will be pain-free, even if you can't imagine that right now. It will be like it didn't even happen. Now, of course, you'll be able to remember it, but there will be a day where you're like, oh, yeah, wow, taking a little jog used to feel impossible to me, and here I am. So just want to plant that seed of hope and that image in your head that there will be a day for you. And I do really believe that. Point number one is to actually use this time to connect with your body, your emotions, and your body's pain signals. This is a time where your body is trying to get your attention. It is trying to cry out to you with these pain signals to say, hey, stop, take care of me, pay attention, please. And so often, I will say part of my story is that I actually really overdid it with painkillers. I wasn't really honest with myself about how much of a problem it was. It became like a mental and emotional dependency for me, where I had such recurring knee pain that I felt so much pressure to dance through that I decided that the best option was to just numb the pain. And I ended up disconnecting from my body and my emotions and my body's pain signals so much that, and I just thought that's the best I could do. I want to disconnect with it so I could keep dancing. But I ended up disconnecting with it so much that I realized a part of true healing for me was learning to face my body's signals and the signals my emotions are telling me, and even what my mind was telling me with the fears coming up. I needed to face it to actually reconnect with myself, because there's something about injuries and physical pain where we often get to this place of injury, not all the time, but sometimes we can, especially overuse injuries, because we have developed this relationship with our bodies and the pain signals that we have, which are good. By the way, pain is a sign that your body is working, not that it's not working. I know that's a wild reframe for a lot of you. It really was for me, but it's a sign that it's working. When you have emotions coming up, it's a sign that your body is trying to actually tell you something. It's trying to get your attention. I teach this to clients all the time. Emotions are care instructions from the body. They are messengers. They're trying to tell you something that helps you to take care of yourself and fulfill your needs and keep yourself safe. So it's really, really important not to ignore that. But a lot of times we get into the injury and we create the injury, or it happens because we've ignored the pain signals for so long, or we've disconnected. And I will say, this is kind of wild for some people, but I really, really do believe that sometimes our injuries happen as an act of self-protection from your body. Your body will just give out because maybe, and this is actually part of my story, I've done a lot of like deep physical healing and inner healing. A lot of that needed to happen for me to dance again safely. And I realized that a big part of my story is that I was actually very physically healthy and I was doing great. And then something happened that triggered this belief in me that my efforts were useless, why try? And that set into motion a few things. First, I started to just feel physically weaker in my body. Like it was harder to put energy into my dancing because in my mind, there was something that just like shut off. And I started to go in self-protection mode. When our beliefs are really powerful, you guys. When that belief got set into motion for me, my body just started to, the subconscious mind is very, very smart. It actually obeys your beliefs and it tries to protect you from wasting your time, wasting your energy and your efforts. And so what happened for me is I had this event, it set into motion this belief that this contract isn't going to happen for me. I thought things were going well, but they're not. Like there was this whole narrative that came up, but I kept dancing. Like, oh, it's all fine. I kept dancing, but I noticed something was different. I also stopped taking as much care to really like warm up before rehearsals because I think I just had this mindset, you know, kind of in the back of my head, even though I thought I was applying myself, I could tell something was just different. I just wasn't showing up the same way. And it wasn't very conscious, but I just didn't warm up super properly. I ended up re-injuring my knee really badly. So I want to say all this to just share how important it is to connect with your mind, your body, the signals that your emotions are giving you and the signals that your mind gives you. It's important to do that self-discovery work when you are recovering, to ask yourself, what got me here? What got me here? And to actually like stop numbing mentally, emotionally, physically, and really pay attention to how is my mind, body, and emotions, how are all these things actually trying, what are they trying to tell me in order to help me? And that's what's going to start to help you rebuild connection with your mind and body and trust with your mind and body. Because rebuilding that trust is what will actually really help you to have a sustainable recovery. I don't want to overhype that, but I will definitely tell you that was very, very true in my experience. Even when the doctor said my leg looked good, I was cleared, I was all good to go, I noticed that I had all of these like intense like triggers in ballet class where I would see a teacher demonstrate a step that used to really aggravate my knee. I would instantly get so triggered. I would be in fear. I would feel like my body lock up and I couldn't plie fully. Guess what? When you compensate like that and you do weird stuff because your body goes into fight or flight and it's like, red alert, don't do that. The subconscious mind does not feel safe to do it. Then we start to compensate. It compromises the flow of the movement, which sometimes can lead to injury, or at least it prevents you from building the strength that you need in order to dance fully and prevent re-injury. So that's why this mental and emotional work is so important. It's so important to reconnect with your body, like I keep saying, and your intuition, so that you can actually not only really heal, but stay strong and stay, healthy once you get back into the studio. And I will say, as an actionable follow-up to that point, really what will help you to do this is to get curious and practice observing what are you feeling in your body. Get to notice how your different pain signals feel. When I stopped numbing all the time in my recovery process, and I learned the difference between a sharp pain and a dull pain, a pain that would come from pushing it a little too hard versus just being a little inflamed and sore after physical therapy that was good for me. It took some time, but I started to learn, oh, there are different types of pain signals and they each tell me different things. And depending on what they're trying to tell me, I listen, I collaborate with my body to actually honor my body. If it's giving me a very, very sharp pain, what I learned for myself is sharp, burning, snapping, ooh, that means more damage is happening. That's personally what I discovered in my own body. I noticed what certain sounds my knee would make, and I would know which ones were okay but kind of freaky, and then which ones were not okay. And here's the thing, start actually obeying the pain signals. You might have gotten here because you don't obey them, okay? And yes, there is some nuance to this. And just like with emotional work, it's important to feel what you're feeling and pay attention to what you're feeling. But of course, we don't live according to our feelings, or we don't obey the pain signals to where you never let yourself push through discomfort ever again. There's balance to what I'm saying, so take that into consideration. But maybe consider that prior to your injury, maybe you didn't have that balance. So get curious, notice what the pain signals are telling you, and actually take action or, inaction. Rest is a choice. That's a very empowered choice, depending on what you're picking up from the pain signals. And this goes for your emotions too. Your emotions, if you really tune into naming what the feelings are that are coming up and asking, what is this trying to tell me? Is it telling you that you're grieving, that you're sad, that you feel this fear coming up, like a belief is surfacing that you're behind, or old programming is coming up, like you are worthless if you're not doing anything? It's hard. I know it's hard, you guys, but it's also really helpful to have support with this, like I said in the beginning, to help you be accountable and actually go into this discomfort. But it's so powerful to actually start facing the fears, facing the old programming that's coming up, because it's coming up, guess what? To be resolved. That's a really important point I want to share with you. These injuries happen so that we can learn and change the way we're operating to be healthy going forward. Our emotions come up and our beliefs, and we get triggered in all this because this pain is coming up emotionally and mentally, like, to be resolved and to be worked on. It's asking you to change. And so, yeah, what I'm really getting at here is, like, don't just numb it, connect to it. Hey dancers, I hope you're really enjoying this video so far. I want to briefly share something with those of you who have been experiencing things like low self-esteem, performance anxiety, self-doubt, putting a lot of pressure on yourself, comparison, caring a lot about what other people think, relying on external validation. I could go on and on and on about a lot of these common mental struggles that a lot of us dancers face, especially if you're dancing and training and performing at a high level. If that's something you've been experiencing and you really long to have the mental skills and support to be able to overcome performance anxiety, know how to perform well under pressure, overcome self-doubt, and actually start to trust and believe in yourself for real and build real confidence so you can enjoy dancing again and perform to your highest potential, if that's something that you want, that's exactly what the Confident Dancer Coaching Program is designed to help you do. This is my individual mindset coaching program that I've designed to help dancers build a healthy mindset that actually helps them to feel and perform their best consistently. If this is something you're interested in seeing, if it's a good fit for you, just click the link below to visit theconfidentdancer.com, learn all about what the program includes, how it works, read incredible testimonials from past clients that I've worked with, and schedule a free 30-minute consultation where you and I can connect, discuss your goals and challenges, and see, honestly, if working together would be a great fit for you personally. That's the best next step, and since it's no strings attached and totally risk-free to you, might as well give yourself the gift of pursuing this and seeing if it could really be that thing to take you to the next level in your dancing. So if that's something you resonate with or interested in, again, head to theconfidentdancer.com, and I look forward to connecting with you there. All right, let's head into the rest of the video. The next point is to use this time as an opportunity to question your old programming and to move from really operating on autopilot to actually making sure that you're way of operating is working for you. And when I say way of operating, I mean your mindset, your beliefs, your rules and expectations for yourself, the way you define success, the way that you feel like you have worth as a person. It is so important to use this as an opportunity to go through that programming that you have. Like maybe some old programming you have in your mind is feeling conditioned from ballet training to believe that working hard is important. It's what makes you feel like you did something today. It's what makes you a good person, or that's what makes you successful. Sometimes these are positive messages that we gain, but then our mind turns it into an absolute thing where it's like, well, then we always need to work hard. And then if we're not working hard, or if we're not doing anything, then we are worth nothing and going nowhere in life. Allow yourself to notice the narratives you've been living by and challenge them. And the other part to this point is to also question where you are living out of self-will. This is a term that I've learned recently that I think is really helpful. And my understanding of it is basically it's like living out of your own, sometimes like selfish will for this is what I want, and I don't care if I have to just like destroy my body to get it, have no friends, have no balance in my life. This is what I want, and I'm just gonna lock my eyes on it and just go all in on it, which often causes us to just really be out of balance. So why I mentioned this second half to this point is because a lot of times we can either get injured or just have more of a difficult time in our recovery if we are constantly working from that, I'm going to call it self-will, like that voice in your head that is in conflict with what your body is telling you and maybe what your doctors are telling you. They're telling you, rest, take it slow. Some people who really care about you might be saying, go slow and then you'll come back faster instead of rushing it, and then it ends up taking a lot longer to recover. Like you hear all these things, but maybe that self-will in your head is like, no, you're behind, you can't, you gotta push. This is your time to start questioning that voice and asking, what is this voice trying to protect me from? What is it trying to help me get? Is living according to all the beliefs I picked up from the dance world, like the belief of scarcity, like it's so competitive, so you always have to be better than everyone else, ahead of the pack, or else you'll go nowhere. Maybe that's what's informed that voice of self-will. That's like, don't care, like just take some ibuprofen and keep pushing. This is your time to start questioning that voice and questioning what voices are leading you in your decision making and in the way you act towards yourself and the way you take care of your body or the way you don't take care of your body. This is a time to question the rules you're living by and even your approach to dance. And I'm sure you know what I mean by that, so I won't extrapolate on it too much, but do examine what are your expectations of yourself. What are the rules you've been living by? Like, I have to do this, I have to do that. If I'm not doing this, then this will happen. A lot of times these rules are very fear-based and very absolute in nature. And it's really important to become aware of them. Get out your journal, start asking yourself, what are my rules? What are my expectations? And then start to question them. Are they working for you? Do you want to edit some of them? Do you want to drop some of them? Do you want to add new rules that actually work for you? This is really important to do. My next point is to use this time to actively befriend your body. Honestly, a lot of times when we are young as dancers, we feel like, oh, we're so connected to our bodies and they're so great and all that, but from a lot of what I've observed from my own experience, from how I've seen my peers grow up and now working with dancers as a mindset coach, I see that we often disconnect from ourselves and our bodies and actually start treating our bodies like an enemy from a young age, especially if you're a female. That is very normal. Like, you start going through puberty and then you start to become conscious of all these things, these ways your body should look and what it should be able to do that the other dancers are doing. And so a lot of times an injury can actually be an opportunity to befriend your body, maybe for the first time ever or in years, to start to treat it like you would a person that you care about, that you want that person to be well, you want it to thrive, you support it, you're on the same team. Start to treat your body that way. And your body will reward you by trusting you. Again, we're talking about that mind-body connection. The self-will you've been operating out of is actually causing your body to experience destruction and pain. You will have a conflict between your mind and body. It won't want to work for you. It will want to freeze and get really locked up when you start to go in the studio again. So this is your time to really befriend your body. Ask what it needs. Be compassionate, be attentive, be supportive, be grateful for it. Like, it sounds however it sounds. I don't think it's weird anymore. I used to. But I noticed I used to speak a bunch of disempowering, judgmental, unsupportive things towards the knee that experienced quite a few injuries. I would call it my bad knee. I would call it my messed up knee. I would get mad at it. I would make mean jokes towards it in front of other people. And you guys, your body is listening to you. Your words carry a resonance with them that creates a reaction in your body. And it definitely informs the way you treat that part. It's really, really important to speak kindly to that part of your body that's experiencing the injury. Literally talk to it. Say, hey, I am so thankful that you have carried me this far. And I'm here to ask what you need. I want to thank you for getting my attention, and it's your turn to be taken care of. Thank you for giving me all that I wanted in my life. I'm so sorry that I've been so selfish. This is an example of overuse injuries. If you've consciously been pushing past pain, which I did for years, it was actually so healing for me to be like, you know what? I have really been so selfish with this knee. And so I'm going to start to treat it with the care that I never gave it before. I'm going to stop acting so entitled to get whatever I want from this knee and tell it that it should be better by now. It's like ruining my life. You know, I had so much like negative energy towards this knee that now I feel a lot of affection towards my entire body, but especially that part that has dealt with a lot of pain, and it now allows me to dance. And I just feel extra grateful for that. Next, I want to encourage you to use all of these mental, emotional, and physical challenges you're going through right now as an opportunity for growth. I know you might be rolling your eyes right now, but so often we treat these emotionally difficult experiences or physically, mentally difficult as bad just because they feel really bad. But remember, just because something brings up a lot of unpleasant feelings doesn't mean that this is something that's really bad. This could honestly be happening for your benefit, because maybe the way that you were dancing or the environment you were dancing in, whatever it is, maybe something really needed to change in your life. And this injury is here to get your attention and provide you the space to really make the changes that you wouldn't make if you didn't experience this disruption. I know this is something that's like, ugh, but I don't want to. This is always so hard. Can't I just get a break? I know, I get it. Listen, I get it. I've been through years of suffering with this knee injury. And I can tell you that when I stopped being so and it's okay to be angry and sad for a time and like just really kind of grieve, you know, whatever you feel you've lost because of this injury. But I will say, like, once I stopped having so much resistance towards the injury and all that was coming with it, and when I say resistance, it was really that mindset like, this is bad, it shouldn't be happening. And I started to ask, like, well, how could this actually be happening for me? How could every piece of discomfort actually be an invitation for my renewal and my growth? I can tell you that the level of depth and wisdom and perspective and knowledge about my body and the mind that I gained during that time has been invaluable to me. It has really made me who I am. It really has. And actually, I look back and I realized that some of the things I was living for were actually too small for me at that time. And that injury was really causing me to face this call that I was feeling to just tap into more parts of myself than I was acknowledging when I was in that lifestyle. So for me, there were so many invitations I found for growth within the injury recovery process. And I believe it's the same for you, whoever you are watching and whatever injury you have right now. Use each challenge as an opportunity for growth. Ask yourself, how could this be working for me? What are these challenges coming up? Could these be coming up for resolution, for healing, for gain? Just get curious. Next, remember that the goal of recovery is not to get back to how you were. The goal of recovery is to become something new. This is really important, you guys, because so often we just romanticize so much about how life was and how we used to dance before we got hurt. And that's so normal. We feel like we lost a really good thing, and that's why it really is important to acknowledge that grief often does come with injuries, and it's important to dive into that. But do remember that something new in you is being created, and you won't be the same when you come back. And it might take you a while to appreciate the new you that you see and the new dancer that you see. And I'm not just talking about like the physical side or the mental, emotional side. It's both. Like you will be something new and beautiful in many ways. It might take some time to see that, but I just want to put that idea out before you to just set a new vision. Don't compare yourself to where you were before. You're becoming something new. And whatever it is that you're becoming, I promise you, it is not less than what you were before. Okay, last 2 points. I know this is a long video, but I just really have a lot to say on the topic of injury recovery. Also, you guys, please send this to your friends who are going through recovery right now. Please send this to them. I think it will be really encouraging. So spread the love. Second to last point here is to determine who is a safe space for you to talk about what you're going through in your injury recovery process. And set boundaries, you guys. Like, find who the people are who you know and you really feel like they support you. They hear you out. They're not just trying to fix you. They don't feel bothered by the emotions that you're sharing with them. Like, determine who is safe and talk to them. The other people, like, there are some people, you gotta set boundaries. Some people will not be a safe space for you when you are vulnerable about what you're going through. They're gonna say something that feels really demeaning, even if they don't mean to be insulting. Sometimes they can be insulting, or they could just kind of disrespect your vulnerability with them. So just be cautious. You can give people like little pieces of what you're thinking and feeling to see how they respond to it. But just remember that not everyone is a safe space. I know, bummer, wish they were, but you know, that is just how it is. So do protect yourself, set boundaries, and also you can tell people what you need. Do this, even if it's uncomfortable, tell people what you need. Like, hey, I really need someone to listen. Or hey, you know, you talking about rehearsals right now is just really bringing up a lot of sadness for me. Can we talk about something else? You are allowed to do that. Do it, okay? You're a person with needs, and you're allowed to say them. And the people who are really there to support you will be all about it, and they will be happy to support you in that way. And also, I will add, don't just talk about your injury with people. This is kind of annoying, but I found that I actually needed to really take initiative in bringing up new topics of conversation, because if I didn't start talking about a new topic other than my injury with my dance friends, they would just automatically start like, you know, they meant well, but they're like, how's the injury? When will you be back? And I was just so tired of talking about it. And then you just start to feel like you are the injury, and it's like your entire life, which sucks. Like, no one wants to feel like that. And you are so much more than what you're going through in one part of your body. So sometimes you will really have to take the lead in like choosing a new subject matter and starting a different kind of conversation, but give yourself that gift, you guys, because it is so good for you. The very last thing I will mention is a simple language shift, which is to stop calling yourself injured and start saying that you are recovering. Okay, language is really powerful. That's why I talk about it, all right? So when we say we are injured, that's an identity statement. And the mind and body are always listening to us. It starts to become who we feel we are. It starts to become the story of like, this is all that life is right now. And so to start to speak life over yourself, speak empowering words like, I am recovering, I am healing, this is my recovering me. I started saying that. I was like really vigilant about it. I was like, this is my recovering me. This is not my bad knee. This is not my good knee. This is the knee that's supporting me right now while this one gets better. Get in with that empowering self-talk, you guys. You are not injured. And the part that is injured right now isn't bad. It's not like your bad back or your bad foot. It's the recovering foot. That's all it is, all right? So start speaking that and notice how it feels lighter. It feels more encouraging and empowering. So you guys, I hope that you really found a lot of benefit from this video. I know I went into a lot of depth. I hope it was really worth it. Again, please share this with your friends. I think it would just really, really be very touching for a lot of people who are going through an emotionally difficult time. And know that if that's you, if you're watching, I'm giving you a big hug through the internet, because believe me, if you go in that playlist, you will see I've cried many tears. In fact, on camera, on YouTube, in front of thousands of people who later watched. But yeah, I get it. It's hard, but it will be okay. If you want individual support through working through the mental and emotional difficulties of the injury so you can work towards a successful recovery with mental well-being, check the link below to my website, theconfidentdancer.com or kirstenkemp.com. They both lead to the same place. You can learn more about my coaching services there and reach out for one-on-one support. All right, you guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.